Glenn Ackerman, energy awareness training, with a really good subject tonight I want to talk to you about. It's a question that I get asked pretty often. That is, energy awareness training, can that help physical ailments? In other words, if I learn energy training and I learn what you teach, can that help heal physical problems or health challenges in my body? Great question. Let me preface this by saying I work in the field of energy, in the body's energies. So I'm not a doctor and not a psychologist, and I'm not any of these things that, you know, these professions that are in the medical field. So I don't prescribe, or I don't diagnose or do any of that kind of stuff for physicality. That said, what I do is I work on unblocking the energies that we have inside us. And most of us, to some degree, have blocked energies if you're not consciously taking out those blockages every day. So the way it works is that our bodies are naturally designed to heal themselves. And when they don't heal themselves, it simply means that there's a disruption in the healing process. And what the latest studies have shown in energy medicine is that when there's a disruption in our energy, when there's a disruption in our psyche, when there's a disruption in the way, in our thoughts, feelings, emotions, that disruption affects the body's ability to heal itself. And so what I've noticed is that when I clear my energy and I move my energy from being blocked, or what I call being in low vibration energy, when I move that energy into high vibration energy, that has a tendency to move the energy, a tendency to start things rolling again. And this is an important thing to recognize in my teachings, in that I have a saying that says nothing changes until energy moves. So if you're in a situation that's not moving, you got a problem, or you've got a physical condition, of course you want to seek medical treatment. Of course you want to do the standard medical procedures. And yet a lot of times people come to me and they say, I've been to 10 doctors and they can't find anything wrong with me, and yet I've got this pain or I've got this condition, can you help me? And what I say to them is if there's an energy component to that, and between you and me, there always is, there's an energy component to that, I can work with the energies so that your body can allow to start healing itself naturally. It's simply like, if there's a drought, for example, and the river that usually supplies the water has been dammed up for some reason. Maybe it's gotten jammed up, or it's not flowing, and thereby no water for the village. Okay, and they're looking for, hey, can you get some more water in, or can you? Do you know any Native American shamans who can do a rain dance and bring the rain down? No, how about I just take the dam away, or the blockage from the river, or the dam that's holding the water back, right? I just take the blockage away and that river flows. It's the same thing with your energy. This is why energy awareness is so important, and it's going to be the cutting edge technology for health, for self-development, for enhancement in all areas. Because what we're finding out, what Albert Einstein knew, is everything is energy that we're dealing with, everything. And our bodies are sending energy and we're receiving energy at the same time. So we're energetic vehicles, and we're constantly interacting with energies. Now, if you don't know the way these energies work, then when you get an energy disruption, you're gonna be puzzled, go, hey, how come this isn't working, or why is this happening to me? And you're trying to figure it out. You may have heard me say that energy is like the iceberg. 10% above the water we can see, 90% below the water that we can't see. And the Titanic wasn't sunk by the 10% it could see, it was sunk by the 90% that it couldn't see. So I was saying this is that which we can see, we can control. That which we can't see controls us. So energy awareness is about being aware of how these hidden energies affect us. And when people ask me about physical ailments, they ask me, can I cure this? Can I cure that? I say, I don't cure anything. What I do is I show you how to unblock your energy and to make sure that there's nothing in the way of your body being able to heal itself. So let me give you an example of how this works. So earlier in my career, I had a friend of mine call me up and he says, Glenn, I hear you're doing this energy awareness thing here or what, and sounds good. Can you do healing work? And I go, well, what's going on? And he says, well, I have frozen shoulder syndrome. Can't lift my arm up past midway. When I lift my arm up, it hurts. And I said, oh, okay. Well, have you been to a doctor about it? And he goes, yeah, I've been to 10 doctors and they can't find any physical reason why I can't lift my arm up. I said, have you seen anybody else about it? He goes, man, I've seen them all. I've seen counselors, I've seen, shamans, I've seen, herbalists. I mean, you name it, I tried it. And I can't lift my arm up, man, and I'm bummed about it. Can you imagine going around, walking around with your arm kind of like this? So I said, come over, and we did a session. And usually when people have this kind of thing going on, which really gets your attention, something that's blocked or not moving, it's a wake-up call to become more aware and conscious about energy and about our true nature, our true energetic nature, or you could call it our true spiritual nature. But it's to awaken us to realize there's more going on in life than what we see here. We live life in a third-dimensional reality, which is pretty much, what we can see, what we can feel, what we can measure, etc. But science says that there are over 10, maybe 12 or more dimensions of reality. So if that's the case, that means that we're only operating in about 10 to 20%. We only see 10 to 20% of what's going on out there. Wow, and that's one of the reasons why we make mistakes, because we don't see the whole picture, because there's a lot more going on than we can perceive. And that's what energy awareness teaches, how to be able to recognize multidimensional realities, to identify what's happening to us. Remember the iceberg below the water, not the 10% we can see, the 90% we can't see. What's going on there? So he comes over to my house and we're talking, and I said, well, let me ask you a few questions about this, because I'm looking for the energetic solution to this, because the answer is always in the energy. When you got a problem, doesn't matter what it is, with who it is, whatever it is, could be relationships, could be financial, could be health, whatever it is. If you've been trying it over and over again to try to find a solution to that, and you can't, you don't know that you tried everything, like my friend was going to come over, tried everything, can't get a solution, can't make any headway with it. The answer is in the energy. So he comes over and I said, so how long do you have this frozen shoulder syndrome? And he said, I've had it about 6 months. Okay, so 6 months, huh? And then I asked the question, did you go through any intense emotional upset 6 months ago that you can recall? And they always say, no, I can't think of anything. So then I say, well, let's pretend. And let's pretend that there was something. And if you're going to make something up, what would it be? And they say, oh, if I'm going to make something up, then it probably was this race I was in. See, he was a sailor, a yachtsman, and he was competing in these yacht races for, big prizes and a chance to get into the America's Cup, which is the biggest sailing race in the world. And he said, we were neck and neck with this other boat, neck and neck. And it was my turn to have the sail come about. So my job was to crank as hard as I can, as fast as I can, the rope so that the sail would move from one side of the boat to the other, and we would have the advantage. And if we could get that one burst of wind, we could win the race. So it was my turn. We were neck and neck. There was only seconds to go, and I'm cranking, but it was so wet that as I was cranking, just for a second, my hand slipped. My hand slipped, and I bumped, just briefly, the metal box that was right next to me with my shoulder. Not hard, just a little bump. And I got right back into it. And we lost the race by about 100th of a second. Neck and neck, lost the race. And I said, wow, and how do you feel about it? He goes, I feel terrible. I said, well, how do you feel about yourself? He goes, I hate myself. I'll never forgive myself. I'm the reason why we lost the race. I said, did your teammates blame you? They go, no, they didn't blame me. They were very kind, but I know that I blew it. It was my fault. And I let everybody down, and I feel terrible, and I just I just hate myself. Pretty strong words. Now, think about this. You've heard me talk about the energies, high vibration and low vibration. High vibration, happiness, joy, peace, abundance, blessings, contentment, flow, transparency, all good. Low vibration energy, worry, stress, anxiety, doubt, guilt, shame, etc. So, based on what he just told me, what do you think, which energy do you think he was in? High vibration or low vibration? That's right, low vibration energy. Hated himself, guilt, shame, disappointment, grief, etc. Now, all of those things are an energy. That's an energy field that he was carrying around, that he created from himself through a belief that he had that he blew the race for everybody. Well, that wasn't true. I mean, if you're a team, the whole team's responsible. But that's what the low vibration energy does. The low vibration energy is in cahoots with the voice in your head, that negative voice in your head that's always trying to put you down, that's always trying to make you feel bad or blame you or worry you. This is what I call the low vibration energy. And he was completely in that low vibration energy field. And as a result, one of the things I teach you is high vibration energy attracts more high vibration, low vibration energy attracts more low vibration energy. So he was constantly feeding that low vibration energy, beating himself up, putting himself down, feeling terrible. And that low vibration energy started expanding. And because his arm had something to do with it, and the bump of the shoulder, that's where the energy started to freeze that, because it was connected with what he was doing. And it didn't make rational sense to him. He never put two and two together because he wasn't energetically trained. I saw it, within the first few minutes, recognized that what the situation was. So I gently led him to forgive himself, to let go, release, disconnect, dissolve all the internal energies of shame, of guilt, of self-judgment, self-criticism, and showed him a technique which I teach in the training called EPR, which stands for Energetic Process and Release. The ability to process our thoughts, feelings, and emotions and beliefs, especially when they're low vibration energy. There's a particular method that I teach. It's a little bit too long to go into in this video, but that's the process that I did with him. And it took us about 15, 20 minutes for him to follow the instructions I gave him to release and disconnect from that low vibration energy, to reconcile, to get back into alignment. See, his energy was out of alignment, completely out of alignment between his high vibration self and his full potential self, all the good stuff. That was weak. In the low vibration energy, the guilt, the shame, the self-hatred, that was the strongest energy. So we flipped it over and made the high vibration energy the dominant energy. And you know what? In about 15 minutes, within 15 minutes of after I cleared that energy, he could lift his arm. Now, how'd that happen? Simply this: nothing changes until energy moves. Nothing changes until energy moves. So what he did with all the people he went to see was, he talked about his situation, examined his situation, complained about his situation, all of that stuff, but no energy moved. So he came with me. I didn't need any explanations. I didn't need, to debate it or do any of that stuff. I worked energetically. I read what the energy was there, and I dealt with it. Okay? So the answer to the question is yes, when you clear your energy, it has an effect on your health. I think the National Institute of Health statistic is that over 94% of all physical illnesses are traced back to stress, anxiety, fear, or what I call low vibration energy. So that's the source. That's the energetic underpinnings of physical ailments. It's not my statement, it's the National Institute of Health. Okay, let's take another example. And again, all I do is clear energy. That's what I do. And what's amazing is once you clear the energy, you're back in high vibrational energy. And high vibration is an energy that's unlimited, that's connected to all possibilities. So when you're in that place, anything can happen, and especially something good. So I was leading a workshop, and as I was leading the workshop, there was a woman in there who started sneezing and coughing, and it was getting worse and worse, kind of disrupting the workshop. And I said, are you okay? She goes, yeah. She says, I think somebody in here has a cat hair. I'm allergic to cats, and I guess I gotta leave because I'm getting an attack. Okay. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, how long have you had this allergy to cats? She says, oh, I've had it about 7 years. So she was about 28, 29. So she got it, in her early 20s. Now that tells me that it was probably as a result of something intense or traumatic that happened to her. So I did the same thing that I did with the fellow with the frozen arm. And I said, oh, can you remember a time 7 years ago when you went through some pretty intense emotions? She says, let me think here. No, I can't remember. I said, well, if you could remember, just make something up. She says, oh, okay. Well, 7 years ago, I remember that my sister and I were very close. We had lost both our parents, and we were best friends, and we hung out together all the time. And she had these two beautiful cats, big white cats. They were beautiful, and at her apartment, we'd always play with them, and they were wonderful. She still has them. And one day I came over to her apartment, and she said, sit down, I have to talk to you. And she said, I have a boyfriend now, and I'm not going to be spending as much time with you as I used to. And I can't have you come over, anytime you want, just walking in like you did before, because he may be over here, we may be together. So I need you to kind of push back a little bit on our time. She says, well, I still love you, still want to spend time with you, but I've got a boyfriend now and things are different. And I said, well, how'd you take that? And she says, I was devastated. She was the most important person in my life, and I felt that she was leaving me, and I felt that she was abandoning me. And it felt the same feeling I got, when I lost my mother. And I was crying and I was upset, and I think I ran out of there. I was pretty devastated. And not long after that, when I went to visit her, when I walked in, I started sneezing and having this effect, and I realized that it was the cats that were causing this. And I said, had this ever happened before? She says, never happened before. I said, okay, all right. So now I'm allergic to cats, and I guess that's the way it's going to be forever. And I said, maybe, maybe not. I said, can you still feel the energies of loss and lack? When you tune into that memory, like 7 years ago, can you still feel that pain or that emotional charge? She goes, yeah, I can still feel that. I said, okay, that means that energy is still inside you. When we go through an intense emotional upset, some people call it trauma, some people call it overwhelm, dealing with something that is overwhelming you. What happens is that energy that we don't want, or that upsetting energy, attaches to us in our energy body, and it stays with us. And as it stays with us, it constantly, because it's low vibration energy, it's constantly expanding, and it's constantly recreating that emotion or that thing that we went through again and again and again. So what may be happening to you is that when you go back to your sister's house and you see the cats were there, right? They were there when you got the news and when you were really upset, weren't they? And she goes, yeah. So your mind associates that trauma or that intense emotional upset with the cats. Just like the guy with the sale associated his upset with the crank and the metal box in the shoulder. It wasn't that anything happened to him, it's just that was the association. So once I cleared the upset, once I cleared the energy of loss, grief, lack, limitation, being abandoned, all those low vibration energies that were in her energy field was clear. And then I used one of the methods that I use to increase your high vibrational energy. Now, when you're in high vibrational energy, your immune system is strong. Well, just think about it. It makes normal sense. When you're feeling good, when you're happy, when you're joyful, that's high vibrational energy. And part of being in a high vibration energy is being healthy mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, energetically, etc. So cleared out that low vibration energy and moved to high vibration energy. And as she was able to connect to high vibration energy and release any of the low vibration, she was able to realign her energies so that she could stay strong, so her immune system could stay strong, so she could stay happy and joyful even though there are cats walking around. And so what happened is we disconnected the association of the cats to the low vibration energy, just like that, and put her in a very high vibrational energetic state every time she thought of her sister. Now, that was some years ago. The sister had broke up with that boyfriend, had since gotten married, and they had a great relationship today. Even though, she's married and things have changed, but they were able to work it out. The only problem that she had was the throwback to what took place many years ago. So this is the big answer for why people have chronic conditions, whether it's chronic negative thoughts, disturbing emotions, even, chronic pain, chronic dysfunction. So one of the things that I've noticed is that you clear your energy and you move from low vibration to high vibration, and you clear out, dissolve, any of the disruptive low vibration energy, intense upsets or traumas. You clear that out, now you can go back into high vibrational energy. And this is the important work that I'm trying to spread through the whole world, that when you're energetically aware and you know how to clean and clear your energy, you can identify the hidden energy patterns taking place, you can start moving things out incredibly. You can keep yourself healthy and happy. And even though you have adversity, and we all do, we learn how to deal with that constructively. We learn how to deal with that so that even though we've got adversity or we're going through stuff, we can still stay in a high vibratory alignment so that we can stay happy, we can stay resourceful, we can stay positive, even though we're dealing with other stuff coming along. So I believe this is the next level of health training that we need. It's not enough to eat right, although it's important. It's important to exercise, it's important to sleep, it's important to hydrate, but it's also important to make sure that we're energetically clear and clean, because that is the big health factor. You've seen lots of people, I've watched that, a lot of people who are into health, eating right, they write books about nutrition. And one lady was an expert in nutrition, and then she died of cancer. What? Another guy, exercise physiology, a guy named Jim Fix, wrote the running book. He ran and he had an accident, some kind of internal combustion inside him, and boom, gone. How did that happen? They're supposed to be helping you with your health, because we are made of energy. And while all those things are important, eating right, exercising, sleeping, it's our energy that determines the state of our immune system. If you're down, if you're depressed, if you've got anxiety, if you've got worry, your immune system is going to be down. You notice that? Why? Because low vibration energy creates more low vibration energy. Usually if you're around somebody who's negative or depressed or complaining all the time, that's an energy, and it usually just gets worse. More depression, more complaining, etc. Well, being energetically aware is to understand we want to stay away from that energy. We don't, anybody in low vibration energy, thanks but no thanks, have a nice day. And that involves people, places, activities, jobs, relationships, you name it. The first step in becoming more aware and more conscious of your life is to be energetically aware, because the problems and the challenges that we're going through, if you don't have the answer, it's because you're not looking energetically. The answer is in the energy. So this is why in energy awareness training every day, we clean and clear any low vibration energy, thoughts, feelings, emotions, behaviors. Every day, first thing in the morning, clean it, clear it out. And then we start moving and building a high vibratory frequency, an aura, if you will. All of us have an energy frequency that we vibrate. Everybody's vibrating an energy, and that energy is created internally by your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and behaviors. If you're not aware of that, as most people aren't, then every day, the up, down, it's a crapshoot, whether you're going to have a great day or not, whether things are going to work out, whether they're not. Why? Because you're out of alignment energetically. But if you're in alignment, in high vibration energy, in a high vibratory field force, you're generating high vibration energy, happiness, joy, abundance, peace, blessings. Wow, Cool. Good feelings. And good feelings usually create more of? Good feelings, good energies, good thoughts, good emotions, good behaviors, etc. So this hopefully gives you an understanding that how powerful it is to be energetically aware. And indeed, it can make you more healthy. No doubt about it. When you're in a high vibration energy, you are healthy. Your immune system is strong, and life is good. And it's just the opposite when you're in low vibration energy. So the most important thing I tell everybody, if you're interested in self-development, if you want to reach your full potential, if you want to be able to dissolve and release all the issues and the memories and the junk you've been through, and we've all been through stuff that, from our childhood, from dealing with our parents or adolescence or teenage years, or maybe bad breakups we've been through. All this stuff is energy. And energy has to keep moving, because if energy doesn't move and it gets stuck, it turns into low vibration energy. Just kind of like water. If I have a cup of water here and I leave it here for a month and I come back, I look in the water, there's going to be a lot of bugs in there, a lot of dust, going to be dirty. But if water keeps moving, if it keeps moving like rivers, then it stays clean. And that's why you want to move your energy every single day. You keep your energy moving, you stay healthy, and you stay in high vibrational energy. So, hope that answers the questions that you have. The answer is yes, definitely. Energy training can and will make you more healthy and bring more good things to your life. So remember, the answer is in the energy.